Disclaimer, copyrights enforced. The following is based on true events, facts, fiction, second-party observations, nonsense, hearsay, bullshit. You be the judge. One thing we guarantee is 100% pure entertainment. All names, places, persons, and things, etc. have been changed for privacy issues. This show is R-rated, may contain obscene language, nudity, not for persons under 18. Please listen responsibly. I'm ready, bros. I'm ready. Welcome, listeners. Blowhard Talk Hard here with Julian.
Rymer.
And Pat is over here.
Pat is in the corner as usual.
Yep.
And he's, I don't know, he's got a soundboard there, red buttons, green, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, when you say he's in the corner, it sounds like, he's scolded. Do you remember being in school?
No,
you don't remember being in school, but back in the day,
didn't
the
do
teacher
that.
would put you in the corner of the room. You had to stand there with your fucking nose in the corner if you did some stupid shit.
Go stand in the corner.
Go stand in the corner, and so I remember standing in the corner looking at the class, and there's like, turn around. I'm like, oh, that takes all the fun out of standing in the corner.
Thing, though, Julian could attest this. Now, guys will pay you $250 an hour for a girl to tell him to go stand in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's, they like to be told.
Because what they
You'll
missed.
pay for it. Pat's referring to be dominated. Like, yeah, I watched this porn. The guy's getting kicked in the balls, full fucking fledged.
But even the dunce
Like,
caps.
how the fuck does that? Like, how does that work though? Like, if you flick me in the balls, I cry.
Yeah.
This guy's getting a kick, like full on. How does it not hurt? I don't understand how he's not in the hospital.
Wow, yeah, fucking like you're...
Like ball busting, it's called.
Literally.
Like you flick your ball, you'll cry. Remember when you were young, you had a ball in the balls.
Yeah, just like
playing
graze.
hockey
Throw
or
up.
something. Yeah, you're on the floor. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck, it gets
No,
deep inside
these-
your guts and up your throat.
But these guys are literally getting kicks, like full on, and they're like, okay, like, how does that work?
It's the same.
Is it more than one kick?
Oh yeah, I've seen about at least 3, 4. But
Maybe
do they
have
suck
them
their
less,
balls
maybe.
in?
No.
I don't know what. Well, I would.
Maybe they got prosthetic balls and they just want the
No,
memory.
no. All kidding aside,
It's possible, when people get their ball, like a testicle removed, right? You can get a replacement
No, this
testicle.
is real, man.
The
These
whole
guys are
world
paying.
of sort of like S&M, like sadism and masochism, is fascinating because I don't quite understand.
It's a lifestyle, actually. Now they call
But
it.
even like girls who want to just get their asses slapped until it's red and raw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are more the submissive types, but they call it a lifestyle, believe it or not. Like that whole, the girl, you fucking loser. Like you have a small dick, you're garbage. Send me $100. And the guy's like, okay. You don't need that money. You're a loser. Give it to me. I'm like,
Right.
I don't get it, but guys want to be told that.
No, the findoms, because I was just on Twitter earlier today, because that whole thing where it's like not even really sexual based, where it's basically like
Yeah.
a hot chick posts a photo and say, send me 50, like pay tribute right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let's call out any findoms who are listening to the show. We would love to have you on because I'm fascinated by this whole just phenomenon.
Do you
of,
think-
So wait, what's a Findom? What is it?
it's a financial
She
dom?
wants money.
Oh, okay, right.
But see, I think that's more of like not part of the real lifestyle because
Yeah, that's a
truly-
lifestyle for sure, because your life.
But the whole thing about the other stuff, like the lifestyle is like the fucking like the slapping, the being like submissive. This Findom thing I think was invented by some girl who just figures if I call him a loser and give him me money, he will. And somebody obviously did. And now every girl's a Findom.
I think the Findom, it probably comes from going, instead of like, was it catfishing when you pretend you're somebody and you make somebody fall in love with you and send you money? It's like, fuck it, why don't we just cut the chase? Listen, give me the money.
Exactly.
It's like being robbed without the...
I don't think
the
that
daylight.
falls under the category of the lifestyle of that.
But what is...
Yeah, there's difference in being choked and slapped around and being someone saying, you're a loser until you give me $25.
Yeah. That sounds like a scam.
But the question
now
I wonder...
it's not a scam. I think when it was created, it was a scam. Now it's taken off.
It's an industry.
Now it's a big thing. Like if you're a right girl, you make big money off some certain people.
Like I would like to know
I'm
what
going
the
to be an
returns
influencer
are.
when I grow up. I'm going to be a Findom. Like,
but hey, don't like you say that like it's a joke, but
no,
like,
there are
like,
people
that's
who
an actual thing.
apparently kids nowadays want to be fucking influencers when they grow up in school. They don't
What's
want
an
to be
influencer?
Like whatever, like someone on
like that eye
Instagram
candy on-
posting like the Ray-Bans or whatever. The
Like-
funny thing is about the in high school, there's young teenagers who will pretend to have sponsorship deals. So they'll say like, "This is me with my Juicero or my Nespresso got sponsored," like, and then but it's fake, because then they go to their friends at school and like, "Hey, I got a sponsorship with Nespresso," and I post Instagram posts with Nespresso, but they're just making fake ads to make it look like they got sponsorship deals, and so they're
meanwhile, Nespresso's getting
influencers, like
fucking-
quote unquote.
So does that get them real
It gets them street
jobs?
cred. It doesn't. Well, Nespresso's not going to be like, you know what, this person, unless maybe if it blows up and there's like all of a sudden 1.5
Nespresso jumps
million like views of their Nespresso commercial.
But you're Dougie at fucking Eat 'em Up High.
It's basically
and
like-
you got 10 followers liking your Nespresso.
Yes.
His grandma.
It's like saying you went like, hey, last night I was at a party and I got 3 blowjobs, and no one's going to be able to call you like, I saw you get no blowjobs last night. They just have to.
It sounds like a math question.
But
How
it's
many blowjobs did Bobby
So
actually get?
basically, this is just bullshit. They're
full on lying. It's just for like like for cred.
Right, that's a smart
It's
idea.
totally fucked
totally
up.
stupid. I
It's
hate it.
insane.
No, I mean, this is what the kids are doing nowadays to be
Fake
like being
advertising.
being gangsters.
Fake
nowadays.
shills though.
Like back in the day, people used to like put on like a big thick gold chain, like think, oh yeah, man,
They
like I'm a
still do that.
gangster.
They still do that. That's
But
another
now
story.
it's like I got an espresso Instagram ad.
Wow. I never knew they would do. Wow, that's ridiculous. I hate that.
No, it's stupid. It's like,
Social media is just terrible.
Oh yeah.
It's just fucking
well, because
terrible.
it's obvious, like, because also who like, is impressed by that? Like, again, like, sorry, teenagers are teenagers. We've all been there, and it's like, we understand how frustrating it is. 'Cause you
Not
wanna-
Like to get attention, you want
like
attention.
then. Not like our time was different than now. Like it's totally different. We never had that pressure. What pressure? We used to go play pool in Jatoni at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Fucking Instagram.
You'd wear like cool clothes that identified you with I don't know, some cool shit.
You did want to have the proper maybe jeans.
That's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. We'd go and you'd hang out. Blow a doob. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Not this
right.
fucking nonsense of fucking.
Figure out how to get beer underage, and then like that's and if
Yeah,
you show up with
social media.
show up with beer to the party, you're cool.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you had like a big brother or somebody who could get you beer.
You notice it was,
Pitch in $5, get a 6-pack and get bombed with
You get
notice
6
you've
friends.
got cred.
Yeah.
you notice now it was Halloween a couple of days ago. Every kid that was coming around had their parents with them, like
Yeah.
these hipster people, and they're coming with 2 kids. Like the street had nothing. Like there's nobody around. Like no kids are around.
Oh, fuck, my
When we were
neighborhood.
growing up,
Like
it was
shit.
fucking crazy, and we never went along. Like our parents.
I
never
did not
came
want
with
my
us.
parents
No.
trick or treating with me at
But
all.
why do they do that now? Is
I had to
it
go with
because
older
they're
kids.
scared that the kids are going to get hurt?
There is a helicopter. Because I see that because I walk down in the mornings to like early in the morning to have a coffee by the lake,
Okay.
and so I'm seeing a lot of people going to school, and the parents are carrying
Yeah.
the kids' backpacks.
Yeah.
And maybe we've brought this up on the show before, but I think that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Is like, why you're carrying the kid's backpack?
But why
Let
can't,
the
why
kid wear
can't
the
they go to
backpack.
school by themselves? It's only 10 minutes walk.
If not even 5, like or 10 or whatever. I used to take the bus all the way, like on the city
Fuck, we
bus.
used to walk all the way. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy. But I think times are different.
go
'cause they
uphill
think
both
their
ways.
Kids are going to get grabbed and molested or something.
Look, again, there's nothing wrong with parents being involved in their children's life. I'd like to see that, but at the same time, you have to let kids sort of be independent and
Yeah.
be kids so they can horse around and
Like
get
I
in trouble
said,
and
the
do
new
stupid
what's
stuff.
that
Yeah.
word, that millennium thing I said, these kids today are fucking too, that program, I mentioned it last time, they're entitled, they think that they're, but in the meantime, like you're just saying, they're in for a harsh reality after, because when life hits them in the face, they're not prepared because they've been babied all their way.
But check this out.
Swimming lessons. Fucking swimming lessons. We used to go to the fucking park by ourselves, Christy Pitts,
Yeah.
and just jump in.
Right. And the
You think
strong
my
kids
father-
survived, and the kids that should be we to the pool drowned. And
They're
it's like
still there. They're
You think
still
my
there at the
dad
bottom of
took
Christian
me-
Yeah.
My dad took me to swimming lessons or hockey skate. Like, are you kidding? He gave me a smack in the head.
Well, I took swimming lessons, but I learned,
learn to
I'm a
skate.
very
We
good
went by
swimmer.
ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
who did that? Like,
But I think the thing is like the best sort of developmental sort of for kids is letting them be alone and horse around.
yeah.
Because when adults aren't around, kids are amazing. They don't.
Yeah.
When I look at my kids, like we had the great. Like so, when I see sort of kids by themselves, horsing around with unsupervised, that's sort of one of the best things I love seeing, because usually I was walking down an alley the other day and there was the most chaotic, insane thing I've ever seen. It was like 9 kids on sort of like carts and bikes and with swords. It was the most insane, and they were like, rah, what? And they were like, I was like, I hadn't seen anything like it for a long time. It was a bunch of unsupervised kids going anarchy chaos, but it was like having the most fun I've ever seen. I was like, this is the best thing.
So what are you saying? If their parents were there, they wouldn't do that?
Well, yeah, but like, so we're like, come on, kids, you guys got to like tell them to settle down. No, kids have to be fucking insane and crazy.
Kids have to get out of the house, play sports. They have to get out of the house and fucking talk with each other.
They got to be little fucking monsters that
maniacs, horse around.
Yeah, have fun. You know,
not horrible monsters, but they need to find out what their boundaries are, like how far they can excel and see their full potential. And I think these kids now with the helicopter parents, if someone is raising their child to be independent like they were back, in the day, like the 70s, 80s, and earlier, those kids who are raised a lot more independently are going to eat the fucking kids up that are being helicopter parents.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Those are the ones that are going to be like the next fucking captains of industry or whatever.
These kids are the ones, they don't know how to be alone because they always had their hands held.
Occasionally you have to accidentally set fire to a forest or a garage just to learn.
That
I found out how to lie.
we grew up the way we did more stronger is because we hung out with older kids. And if you hang out with older kids, you learned better, more. Yeah. When I went to grade 9, I went to grade 9 with guys who were in grade 12. I walked into school.
Oh, it's because they failed grade 12?
No, because they were in grade 12. They were just older than me.
These older kids hanging out with you.
Yeah, because they lived on the same street and, we were friends, but I was younger than them. But, I didn't have the shyness of a real grade 9er going to a school first day by himself in high school, intimidated. I felt like the king.
Because they accepted you. Like, you had older kids who's like, Julian's okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you had like some social, also some probably like, the way you held yourself is a lot more mature when you're hanging out with older kids, right?
Of course, you learn from the older,
One thing we know is that girls back then definitely like, guys that were a little bit more mature as a general rule, right?
Well, look at some of these kids today. I drive by a high school. They're like little nothing. They look like idiots.
You don't see a single mustache.
Right?
They look like small, like they're not even
nobody's
grown.
packing a fucking machete at school anymore.
Oh yeah, they got the little gangs, but I'm talking like the regular kids. They don't look like. How old do you have to be in grade 9? 14?
Yes.
Yeah, approximately.
So I guess they look their age.
But the kids look much younger than we did. Like
you think so?
Yeah, no one's smoking in grade 3 anymore.
Well, when we were in junior high,
what are they doing now? Fentanyl?
Yeah. Well, and designer pills. But like I remember when I was in junior high, at my junior high school, we had smoking doors where the teachers and students smoked together, and there was no qualms about it. Like, so you had junior high heads.
Yeah, we used to smoke in the hall, in the staircases, but
my high school got rid of the smoking hallway.
Does that make you cool because we smoke?
Well, no, but it just showed you that there was just an idea that like you were treated with.
What made us different was we used to play in the yard, baseball, basketball. Like you drive by, they don't do that like really anymore. I don't know. I think they're too busy on, like you said, their social fucking media, on their phones.
They're watching people play baseball and football.
Yeah, and they're commenting on it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I wish I could do that.
I can't do that, but you did it very well.
Yeah, so they lean against the soccer post. What is this used for?
Back because I think a term that I've just thought about is like horsing around. It's like horsing around is one of the great things, and I always wonder what the origin of that saying would be. But it's like, what are you doing? We're horsing around. What does that mean? Well, not really anything, but we're having a lot of goofy fun. Don't you think? And there's so much to be learned from horsing around because like maybe you make mistakes, maybe it's dumb, maybe it's funny. You find out where you are, whether or not like.
I honestly believe this is it's a timing thing. When we were younger, things were different. Today, the kids do not have that. Like, maybe their parent. That's why I want to know, why do they get walked to school? Are the parents scared something's going to happen to them if they walk alone?
Right. Well, now when you YouTube like horsing around, you get a dude being fucked by a horse. It's totally different.
Something like that. That's what the term came. Horsing around.
Yeah. It
needs something hipped around the horse.
Completely different now.
Guy getting prolapsed by a giant horse.
That's what happened.
And what is that? Parents fear that there's going to be some sort of horse cocking.
You know what? That was funny thing about the Halloween thing. I said, I'm going to turn off the lights. I'm not giving out no fucking candy this year. fuck it, right?
Yeah.
And my buddy's like, what are you gonna do instead? I go, I'm gonna get a fucking case of apples. I'm gonna prick little holes in the apples with a pin, but I'm not gonna put the pin in as a joke. Now I'm only joking, listeners. And I'm gonna give every kid an apple. And the parents are gonna be like, what did you get? This guy gave me an apple. I go, do you remember, do we ever get any apples? The guy goes, yeah, once or once.
Yeah, we
once
hated that guy.
He used to throw them, at somebody. But at the end of the day, well, I'll get a case and watch these parents, give them an apple, and they'll look at the little pin. They'll probably call the cops, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah.
That would have been crazy, man. They would have said, that guy at that house over there is fucked up.
Yes.
Totally. But it's so rare that people are actually like fucking psycho enough to.
No, it turns out that
it's like more myth.
Those are
Yeah,
like urban legend myths.
Yeah.
That, it happened, of course.
Yeah, but you got to be a serious fucking.
But the idea of like the razor blade saying the candy apple, it turns out to be 100% false. There's zero reports ever. It was actually Michael Moore.
Urban legend.
Right, urban legend. Okay.
Like 100% zero. Like, so I gotta look through your candy. No kid is getting poisoned.
No, but that's just parents fucking trying to score the chocolate bars
You
and
can
shit.
overdose. I was listening to the radio, and the girl goes, she goes, you can overdose on chocolates. She goes, take your weight, the amount of chocolate divided by this and that. Basically, she goes, those little chocolates you get? If she goes, my thing, if I ate 290 of them, I would overdose.
Yeah, that sounds like some kind of fucking TikTok challenge now.
Yeah, it's like a sugar thing.
Yeah,
The sugar would make you overdose.
We're putting that out there, people. Eat.
Yeah.
You're gonna fuck me from behind? Call me your bitch? You're gonna call me your bitch while you fuck me hard?
We're rolling.
Yeah, we just.
What do we have? Some technical difficulties there?
Yeah, we had some technical difficulty. The card was full.
The card. The card. Pat fucked up, right? That's what.
That's-
basically what you're
It's
saying.
code
is
for Pat.
Pat fucked up.
Fucked up.
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah, digital problems. We live in a digital world. We're just talking like very briefly that fuck up going, parents scoping through children's candies, fucking eating too much, eat all the chocolate. I dare you.
290 chocolates.
290 chocolates. And helicoptering parenting is, this is fucked up because like you look downtown, I don't know if it's like this in other cities, but downtown Toronto, all these fucking condos, these thousands of units that are designed for like 1 or 2 people max. People have pets instead of children. And these people, like when they're older, will they ever choose to procreate? And if they do, will they know how to raise children because they're so kind of far removed from,
Well, they have their tiny dog.
So what's the question here?
Yeah, like where were those parental skills? Like they will probably have to like walk them to school because they have to relearn like how it is to be a child.
There's a new world coming, man. We won't be here, but there's a new world supposedly coming.
And it's not set up
And
it's set up for people to not procreate. They're to live in your pod,
Yeah.
contribute to the grid,
Yeah.
Right.
and
No.
It's totally Matrix. Like everybody's got their pod.
This is
We just
going to
need
be
put
one
the-
ugly future life. Jesus, Pat, easy,
You just,
brother.
you just put the helmet on to
No
fucking
money,
generate.
no
yeah, the metaverse.
currency.
Don't you guys know? Like Facebook
metaverse.
is no longer known as Facebook anymore. They rebranded. Facebook is now called Meta, and that's true.
Yeah. Metaverse.
And their whole thing is metaverse, which is the funniest thing in the universe because it's like, can you
Matrix.
be more on more on the nose?
Right. And you know what else is happening? There's a new Matrix coming out.
Very shortly.
I never
Yeah.
liked those movies.
Oh,
The first one's great. The second two.
the first one's
are-
still great.
Oh yeah, the first one is a classic. The second two are goofy and
Yeah.
a little boring.
Yeah, they didn't need Was it? They didn't need that. They didn't need.
Get back to those condos downtown.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
Speaking
gonna
of the
be,
Matrix.
in 20 years, I think those condos are going to be empty. Like they're
Yeah.
going to be crack
Yeah,
buildings.
it's gonna be a hood.
because
There's gonna
it's
be
gonna a
fucking
hood.
inner city.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Because first of all, who can afford $3,000 a month for a
On
fucking
condo
one
fees.
and a half? Yeah, and whatever.
And then your mortgage.
And then at the end of the day, unless you're like you sell drugs, strip or something like that, how are you going to pay for it? A regular,
Yeah.
not everybody can be a doctor or a lawyer.
No.
And it's ridiculous. So I think they're going to be like fucking bad, because they keep building.
They're
building,
pumping
building.
them up. They're
Yeah.
like out of like they're.
We have more
crazy.
cranes in Toronto than they have anywhere in the world.
You can still buy houses
Did you
like
see
a
on
fucking
the steps
front
that
yard,
Bathurst and
backyard.
Bloor? On the steps, they tore it down. It's fucking almost like 80-story buildings.
I haven't been on that corner for
amazing.
a long time.
Oh,
yeah?
fuck,
It
it's
looks
amazing.
No, the honest
Yeah.
eds, they pumped that up. That came up
Yeah.
fast.
Money talks, bro.
Yeah, that
There's
was
no
$1 billion,
delays when there's
wasn't
that. Huh?
That was $1 billion buyout, I think.
That went from zero to like it's way up.
And there's one shop there, man, that said no.
No, and they built over it.
They
It's
built
really
around
fun.
it. That
Yeah.
guy thought he was going to become a millionaire selling it. They told him, fuck you. They built around it.
Yeah, it's almost like the Lorax.
Yeah. See ya, bitches.
Or
There's a place downtown though, the that jazz club, the Rex. In London Life was building their insurance building, and the Rex refused to fucking sell. And they were lowballed at first, and they said, no, fuck it, we're gonna stay. We're not selling out, not selling out. And then London Life, I guess whoever was the project manager came down to meet the owner, and they hung with the bar, and they realized, yeah, this place needs to stay because it's a cultural institution, like that music, that energy, without that for a fucking office and a Starbucks, no way. That is definitely a hub. But the Rex is worth a visit, man. Still for the music.
Yeah. I know the place.
Yeah, that is.
I think a lot of things like that. It's like just because you can build it does not mean that it's worth being built. Like because there's a lot of sort of like the grit and the grime and the grain and the stains.
The heart and soul, man.
Of the heart of the soul of the city is already sort of in there. Like that's why I sort of like I live in Parkdale, and Parkdale is one of those places that seems to be very development again. It's very hard to build like these condos, and I think a lot of the people there see that. And it's up also where you live, Julian, kind of in that you don't see a lot of like they're not putting a lot of towers up in these kind of prime.
No, but the residential houses are like ridiculous.
Well, now they're $2 million.
$2 million homes for something when you bought 40 grand 20 years ago.
Yeah, but at the same time, those homes, I mean, you got a front yard, backyard, bathroom, and a place to like hang out and have think and take a shit without somebody being like in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's kind of terrible.
On the other side of the door.
And you're paying $3,000 a month
for a box.
You're having to wait 10 minutes for an elevator and
you know what? It's
or
pretty
$3,000 a year in property tax.
And just fees and we do.
Well, you
have
pay
a
property
gym.
tax in the air too. That's the funny part.
Yeah, it's fake estate. Like if that building falls down, your property is just that air tax. Air tax. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, you know what? It's the new world. Fuck it.
It's fascinating. It's a fascinating time to be alive. I think it's interesting if you can stay sort of outside it and kind of observe it and like understand that there is a game that's being played and you can kind of sort of maneuver around it. It's a fascinating time to be alive. Some people are going to get caught up in it. Some people are going to get ground up in it.
It's good if you're our age because it doesn't really going to affect you in 20 years because you're going to be an old guy. And we're not young enough to fucking need to get involved with it too much.
Yeah, if you're a teenager or something.
If you're in your early 20s, you got to get a job. You got to figure out what they're going to do with money. We're like 50 years old. Who gives a shit?
Listen, it's all going to work out, man. If you're young and listen, it's all going to work out. Just keep your nose to the grindstone. Fucking don't get lost in the worry of like, oh no, life is it can destroy you. But there's so much unnecessary stress that happened in life.
They're all
that was not needed now that I'm looking back.
I like to take life in the form of a suppository.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
That's enough for today.
That's where we
listeners.
go.
We got to get out of here. We're out, listeners. Julian.
Rymer.
Pat.